The Session. This is Nick, Jess, and Ryan.
Excuse me, you forgot somebody.
Well, I was going to say, today we have a special guest. It is Daniel Carter.
Hello.
Me and Jess have met Daniel through esports, and he is a freshman here at Defiance, and we are here to interview him and have a discussion.
Woohoo, Daniel!
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Yes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, where are you from? What drew you here?
I'm from Dayton, Ohio. I was drawn here because it's a small town. I love small towns, very close-knit. It's big enough so you don't know everybody, but small enough to where you know some people. Mm-hmm. And it seems very cozy here.
That's something that I noticed. Even when I came here before I was admitted or whatever, that's something I noticed. It was cozy here.
You came here before you were admitted?
Or I came here to visit before I was
gotcha.
I meant accepted.
So that's interesting. So go on. I'm in the background on this one.
You're the background, Ryan. We're taking over.
Yes.
I'd say it's a homey campus. That's what brought me here. I came with soccer, and the campus, I think, was really homey, and it kind of fit all the criteria, which I didn't realize at the time. Like, it was the typical way high school said, like, oh, do you want to be in the city or do you want to be in the woods? And I'm like, well, I want a little bit of both. And
Anyway, back to our guest.
Back to our
Correct.
special guest, Daniel. So what are you studying, Daniel?
I am studying graphic design
Why'd you choose graphic design?
because I like the idea of creativity and imagination and then making that into something real. And with graphic design, it's not just designing things, it's designing something and giving it life.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I think Defiance does a good job of making sure that it encompasses all of that.
I'd say it's cool because, graphic design and art, it's something that I think anyone can get to like. I'm actually taking another art class my last semester coming because I'm a senior. So, graphic design, it's very universal. The application is pretty well anywhere.
Yeah, you can basically do anything you want with it. You can literally carve your own career out of graphic design.
That's what I liked about it because it's very open and diverse to what you do with it. Me personally, I just really enjoy art because as somebody with a not so great background, I always immersed myself in video games, books, because it's a whole new world and takes me away from my current reality. And with art, you can make your own reality.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
So Daniel, it's if you ever have any questions about graphic design or whatever, I do that every day. Not all day anymore, but every day. So you can always stop up to see me on the second floor of Sarek if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Okay.
So I told him that we weren't going to talk about his first major here, but he actually had a good reason for why he's switching majors in the upcoming semester. So tell us a little bit about your first major and the switch.
Well, initially, I chose criminal justice because when I was applying here, it asked what my major would be, and I always told myself if I went to college, it would be for criminal justice because family issues. A lot of my family members were in and out of jail, so I was like, maybe I can use that knowledge of what they did to avoid going there. I could turn that to help other people.
Oh, cool.
But then as I got here, a couple weeks went by, and I started thinking, would I actually be able to make a difference? And I thought, how can I make a difference with criminal justice compared to graphic design? And I just didn't really see myself doing anything with criminal justice because I felt like if I did, it would be for personal reasons instead of, I'd say...
your higher calling, what you want to do.
I feel like it would be more personal to do criminal justice, but with graphic design, it's just more open for other people to see what I can do.
There's so much outreach with it. You could basically design anything for any given person. There's a purpose, I think, in graphic design for literally everything.
But didn't you say your roommate or your friend or something was into graphic design?
I have two friends on campus that influenced my choice of major. My first friend, her name's Katie. She's a senior here.
Call out.
She was in criminal justice, and I seen what she was doing with it, and I said, that's very interesting. And that's where I mostly said, when I'm applying, I will just put that down so I can go with that.
Yep.
And then I met my friend Carmen, and I've seen her do little doodles and drawings and things for class. And I've seen some of her class work, and that just clicked in my head. I was like, that's really cool because it looks cartoonish, but it's putting forth for a good reason. she had to take the legalization of marijuana and turn it into something kid friendly. And I was asking her how she was going to go about that, and I told her for an idea that she could make it into like medicinal marijuana and how it could help kids with illnesses.
Sure.
And like just the diversity that comes around creativity with art is something that interests me.
There's so much. You can literally twist everything to be exactly what you want it to be.
Exactly.
So Jess had a different major when she arrived.
Yeah.
Nick, did you have a different major when you arrived?
I had a different minor. I was a history minor.
Oh, okay.
And I think we talked about it last week. I switched to a minor in leadership, but I've always been business.
So Jess, you changed from...
So I started out, originally when I came here orientation, I was super excited. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do digital forensics and psychology or something like that. I honestly don't even remember. It's changed so many times, but changed it eventually to computer science and digital forensics, and then I added a third major, and now I'm at 2. So it's all over the place. I know I need to make up my mind.
It's not a competition for the most majors.
Oh, man.
So I'll give you 3 just a moment, because otherwise you guys can go on forever, to esports nerd out here. So tell the listeners a little bit more about esports. We talked about it briefly last week, but is there anything that you want to talk about, like whether it's the arena, the coach, how awesome I am? I mean, you can work that into if you want, that's fine. But just talk about esports for a little bit and just nerd out.
Okay, so what games do you play, Daniel?
I play my primary game is Rainbow Six Siege, and my secondary game is Valorant.
That's pretty cool. Do you have any specific favorite things about those games that you like, or?
I like with Rainbow Six Siege, it's very tactical and more realistic than most shooter games. Like with Fortnite, for example, you can build things like there with just a few materials. But with Rainbow, like headshots are instant kills. You can shoot through walls, blow walls up, reinforce things. And it's like you have to have a set plan and a strategic way to go about the game.
That's pretty cool.
Win.
That's cool. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It really is. Like once you first start, it's going to be hard to grasp the concept. But once you get into it and you realize everything, it's all good.
You can probably pick it up fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything you want to add to that, Nick, or any other questions you want to ask him about esports specifically?
I was going to comment that for anyone interested in esports, you can always choose to compete or be casual as well in your game. Basically, we compete in a lot of different games: Rocket League, Fortnite. When you have CS:GO, he said Valorant. A lot of different games you can compete, and I think the future of gaming will be a lot bigger than it is today, and it will even become such as things like professional football or soccer or basketball, because what the world is happening is that we're starting to get to a point where there's so much competition in gaming that it's becoming much more than just gaming. It's a sport.
It really is. And I even remember when you and I were freshmen, the program was just starting out. I don't even think for the first semester we weren't even competing in games. We were starting to become competitive when I used to play League of Legends, but we were barely starting to become competitive in that, and now it's just blown up. We have probably 8 to 10 games we're competing in. We've got over 50 students in the esports here at the college. It's crazy how much it's blown up.
Yeah.
What's the game of the future? What is in next 2 years? What's the game that's taken off?
Honestly, there could be a new game that takes off.
Okay.
I think a game that it's an older game, but it's still like as alive as it's been during release is Minecraft. That's the one that's been staying for a while.
Okay.
Definitely.
Nick, your opinion?
I think Fortnite will still continue to be the biggest. In terms of statistics, Fortnite is still the biggest, but just in terms of the money that goes into the industry, it's pretty fascinating.
Okay. Daniel, thanks for being on the show.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm happy you're able to make it.
Yeah.
Nick, before you send us out of here, I do have an apology to make to Nick on the air. I misspelled his last name like a complete doofus.
I was going to say we should run with that. We should misspell his last name every single time.
I typed it out, and I'm like, yep, that's right. And Click send. Never even thought about it. Like I said, I was not there. Last week was tough. Or actually, that was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Last week,
But
yesterday, same
anyway,
thing.
I apologize to you, Nick.
It's okay, Ryan. You know, he apologized after the air, and he said that he had to make bingo, so that's fine by me.
An old person joke. That's hilarious.
Well,
I
he's
just
trying to
remember-
make a genuine apology. You gotta call him old.
Exactly. Nick, get us out of here.
All right, thank you guys. It's been the session with Nick, Jess, and Ryan, and Daniel.
Yeah.
All right, have a good day.
See ya.